Favourite?
Well, I'm going to go for my old mate Dennis because he's one of my best mates, and I'm going to go for Wayne to beat Stompy because I think by then the crowd's going to be wound up and that'll suit Wayne.
Crowd can't win the game, you've got to play darts.
All right, boys, stop there. Stop it.
Never agree on anything, those two, that's for sure. What they do agree on, this should be a fascinating day of darts. Don't forget, Mardle on stage, round about 4 o'clock. But let's kick off with Paul Nicholson against Dennis Priestley, Dave Lanning and John Gwynn.
Yes, thank you very much, Dave. Interesting to hear the comments of Eric and Rod. Often they do concur. And maybe that's a sign, Dave Lanning, that it is difficult, actually, these days, even in round 3 now, to determine the outcome of so many of these games. All very, very good players. The first 180 of the match in the very first leg, illustrating the point perfectly.
Yes, an eloquent statement of intent from young Nicholson, who the lads were saying has breezed into the big time, and he is a refreshing breath of air. He had style, but he has steel.
60.
And Dennis Priestley, the old master, is going to be fully extended by this lad. And look at him go. That's 4 darts, 4 maximum trebles there, but now he'll come out.
99.
Nicholson. Just get the feeling, John, that Dennis Priestley, whose measured throw has upset many players. Remember Wayne Mardle in Ireland, we disintegrated, but 55. This kid, he's a measured player as well. He has the temperament to handle Priestley.
Yeah, I agree. It's in contrast, isn't it, with the fast flinging of Adrian Lewis yesterday. He's taken out 2 Adrians this week, this man Nicholson. Adrian Gray rather more comfortably than he might have assumed, and Adrian Lewis in that absolute thriller yesterday. But this very much in contrast to that. But I agree with you, he can handle that. I spoke to him about an hour ago, and he said, I've got no problems with Dennis Priestley. I'm just happy, delighted to be on the same stage.
69. And he's got a shot here for a 12 darts opening leg, and this the last 16 of day 9. Should be staying on 19.
95.
Which leaves him 52, as you can see from our caption, and Dennis Priestley hasn't had a sniff yet.
I think an indication here of sometimes it's not always a great advantage to have the throw immediately. I think Nicholson's caught Priestley just a little cold. He's come out all guns firing, the Aussie. And Dennis Priestley, although he rectifies matters to a large extent there, may not get another shot in this leg. Double 16 for an opener against the throw. An all-important early break. Got to get this, though. Got to get this. Well, Priestley's earned the right. An excellent throw a moment ago, landing him on 80.
And again, Priestley will use his experience here, looking at 80. Got to throw into the high part of the segment. And now double top to hold the throw.
60. Well, yes, needed to be up a little bit more. So here we go for double 10 and double 8, and once again that break of throw, he gets it. Nicholson breaks Priestley's throw immediately, gains an early advantage, and if this leg is anything like the one we've just seen, Dave, it's going to be difficult for Priestley to break back.
Absolutely. Paul Nicholson.
59.
Not the most enterprising of opening throws. Priestley then looking for the quick break back.
Yeah, this is where opportunity knocks. Only 59 from the Geordie Aussie, originally from Blythe in Northumberland, using all his Northumbrian nous this week, and but he's the first to give so much credit to those down under in Melbourne, where he's now situated, who have helped him to raise his game to the level we're seeing.
Yes, indeed. Just look at this crowd here so early in the day, and as always, in the most joyous party spirit. I saw a Dalek hand in hand with a nun. Sounds like the start of one of Eric Bristow's late night jokes, doesn't it?
140. Which means we daren't suggest what the punchline might be.
And here is Nicholson, an Aussie Geordie, bit like Crocodile Dundee, caught with a glass of Newcastle Brown Ale. Nothing will ruffle the style and pace of Dennis Priestley. We've been seeing it on the big stage for 20 odd years now, and darts like this have made him indeed a legend in this sport. It's an overused expression, but Priestley is thus, and it was refreshing to hear Nicholson acknowledge that fact.
180. Great cover shot, and Priestley with a great chance of breaking back. But you know, Nicholson, a three-figure finish holds no fears for him. Produced no fewer than 6 of them against Adrian Lewis, 4 of them in the final set. Unbelievably, but what a fantastic hit by the Yorkshireman.
Get this shot here, which is now out of range. Priestley is going to have a clean throw at double top to break back and square the opening set. Imagine that Dennis Priestley wouldn't scoff at a pound for every time he's hit this double. Add another pound.
Yeah, I'll go halves with him, Dave. And we're 50p better off already. But that's a terrific leg by Priestley. And the professionalism of the man. He loses throw, first leg. That's how much it means to him, even so early in the contest. Because this first set, in any match, of course, the first set is the one you really want to win and get ahead. Take control of the game. That was a great leg from Dennis Priestley.
We should remind you that we're in the last 16. It's still the best of 7 sets, so the first 4 goes through into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Wade or Van der Voort, the man awaiting the winner of this.
140.
That game coming up, of course, later on today, this evening.
And to round off the afternoon, the first of our England versus Holland engagements. Wayne Mardle, ebullient against the keen, articulate technology of Coase Stompy.
100.
If you happen to be around and you want to come along to these games, there are still some tickets available. We're making spaces available, of course, with the demand being quite so great. Looking forward to all of these games. Hamilton Klassen, a real quality match. They don't get much better than that, do they? That's a repeat of the 1999 Lakeside final. And Barneveld won that one comfortably. But Ronnie's been looking quite good this week. Wade against Van der Voort, the one I mentioned. The winner of this game you're watching now plays the winner of that in the quarters.
Yes. Wade yet to find his golden touch, but maybe it will need tonight against the fast throwing Van der Voort. Meanwhile, not much in this one, is there? Just the one before this throw with Nicholson holding on to the advantage of the throw.
Yeah, 1-2-1 Nicholson took it out, of course, to win the match spectacularly against Adrian Lewis. He'll be coming up to have a go in a moment. And wasn't the first time in the match that he took it out. In fact, he took 5 three-figure scores out of the 6 legs he won in that final set. Unbelievable, really.
They say he's got more bottle than Moeen Shandon. And that's an interesting opening shot here for 120. And he wants the ball. Did this a couple of times against Lewis. Not this time, though.
80.
Probably will be back. But when Priestley's on the prowl, you can never say for certain.
Hark at that silence. Magical.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
The place is jam-packed, but then you could have heard a teardrop.
But whose tear will be dropping? And will it be a tear of joy or a tear of sadness?